45 seconds. That's how long the National Weather Service says it took for this tornado to tear through a Sarasota neighborhood. You can see the serious damage it left behind this afternoon at a business on the bottom right of your screen. The roof there shredded and twisted onto the ground below. Luckily, nobody was hurt. 10 Tampa Bay's Hannah Deneen joins us live from Sarasota tonight. Hannah, this tornado produced a lot of damage, but with no warning.
Yes, and Josh, Florida power line crews are still here tonight working to repair the damage that the tornado left behind. And take a look at this. The size of this tree that came down in this storm, taking out this fence with it. And then over my shoulder here, the business that suffered the brunt of this damage. The workers who were here today when this storm happened tell me it's the sound of it that they'll never forget.
It was pretty loud, real loud.
Like a train.
Sound like a train, like they say.
A tornado screaming through Sarasota. Its force ripping apart John Alvis's family business.
I heard the door vibrate and I ran back inside and dove next to a dumpster, and the roof lifted up in the air about 10-15 feet, and then it just let go.
Alvis Industries custom cabinetry and furniture made a mess of mangled metal in seconds.
It took only 30 seconds, it wasn't even time to think.
It appears a piece of its roof blew into a nearby neighborhood where Randy Batista's home camera captured the tornado's power.
I saw the video, I'm like, wow, that was pretty intense.
The silver car to the left here had its windows shattered. A patio umbrella lifted into the trees, and large tree limbs fell into their street. Randy's wife was home when it all happened.
She was scared. The whole house shook. So, I mean, luckily she's good, and I made sure she's good.
Back near Alvis Industries, a tree was blown onto this home, which we're told, fortunately, is abandoned. So while people clean up and process this whirlwind afternoon, everyone is grateful the damage was limited to what can be replaced.
Pretty rough. Just glad all of us made it out alive okay.
The National Weather Service is in the process of completing a damage survey, which includes tracking the exact touchdown and path of this tornado. But meanwhile, for this local business, a lot of cleanup will be needed before it can rebound.
Boy, that video is wild. Let's bring in Chief Meteorologist Bobby Deskins.
Like that.
They're calling this an EF-1 tornado. What does that mean?
So that's ranked for wind speeds, exactly like we do kind of a category 1, 2, 3, or 4, or 5 hurricane, right? Has to do with the wind speeds. EF means enhanced Fujita. If you're a little bit old school, you might remember just F1s, F2s. Yeah. That's Dr. Fujita came up with it several years ago. They enhanced it just to get fine-tuned it a little bit. It's called an EF scale right now. This was an EF1. 92% of the tornadoes we see here in Florida are EF1s or lower. So we tend not to get the real big, strong ones, but that
you
was
still
a weaker
see what
one
it did.
Yeah. Winds. You saw what it did. Let me show you over here on the radar. Right now, everything's nice and dry. This green you see here is not anything. That's just a little bit of feedback. Finally, we have quieted down. 2:15 this afternoon. We were actually tracking this storm. We saw rotation. We were ready for a warning to be issued by the National Weather Service, but it was kind of borderline, I'll tell you that. It came across the beach here. We've got a camera right here on the Van Wezel. We were watching at the time. We did not see it. It really didn't form until it got over here. Unfortunately, our cameras were blocked by the buildings there, but that's when it went off to the north and the east. Wasn't on the ground for very long. Obviously, they're saying about 30 to 45 seconds. The Weather Service, what happens is they send out a survey team. So meteorologists will go out. They go out and they look at it, and they determine from the damage how high the winds were. You can't really figure out if it's an EF1 or 2 in the middle of a tornado, right? We figure it out on the backside. They'll do that. They'll draw up an exact track, and they'll give it to us.